Anyway, just to introduce to you guys, he's the founder of the Refounding Father Society, MikeChurch.
Thank you. Wow, what a wonderful crowd. So the Refounding Father Society was founded in May of 2010 at a place where all great American things start, in a bar. All great American ideas get their start in a bar. And we started as a little political action group because we all get together and love to complain about our politicians and how they're all corrupt and crooked, and if they only follow the Constitution, we can all save ourselves from ourselves, and we were all full of vim and vigor and manly fortitude and all, we're going to change the world. And about a year and a half into that, the world wasn't changing very much, despite our efforts. So we decided to reorganize or redirect the society now. So back in the 1970s, there was a television commercial that you would see if you watched any sporting events for a company called AMF. And they didn't make weekends, they made them better. Anyone is old enough to remember that TV commercial. Well, we don't make Refounding Fathers, we make them better now. And if you know any of our members, you know that that's still a work in progress. Especially if you know Dwayne. So what we do, we try to educate and cultivate two things that are seriously missing in today's world. And the education is aided and abetted by two gentlemen in the back left-hand corner of the room, Drs. Gutzman and Woods, among others, and by history. Can't be a refounding father if you don't know what the founding was, so you can refound it. So we try and teach the history and get together and learn the history. Then there's the other part of it that no one is doing that we know of, and we know this because we see bad manners everywhere. That's teaching, cultivating, and encouraging gentlemanly behavior. Things like taking your hat off indoors, if you actually wear a hat. I'm not talking about a baseball cap. Things like standing up when the lady leaves the table, little manner things like that. Things like not using the F word in front of your children. Simple little things. And it may seem like it's trite and small, but actually that's the largest thing. Because, gentlemen, and I like to give this talk to the men in the room, you are the Refounding Fathers, you are. It's your job to get your wives, your children to heaven. That's your job as a father. Refounding Father is to restore some semblance of order and virtue in our civic affairs so that other men can get their wives and children to heaven. And that's what the Refounding Father Society is all about. It's an exclusive group. It's not for everyone. But we'd certainly like for you to go to refoundingfathersociety.com and inquire about joining and becoming a member. And reading up on the history of the country, reading up on the history of the Constitution, reading up on history that goes actually beyond that, and learning that actually there are great works that weren't written by Americans. Shudder the thought. Who would ever know in the United States you could be great and not be an American? So, refoundingfathersociety.com, and this event today is Dwayne's brainchild. And what Dwayne is trying to get you to do, and what the Refounding Father Society tries to get you to do as well, is to think in terms of your country. What country are we in today? Thank you! Give that man a gold star. We are in the country of Texas, which is a country in a union of states. If we can't get back to that, we're hopeless. It's over. We're a mass democracy. We're doomed to failure. As a matter of fact, one of my old friends who's not allowed to come in polite company anymore, a gentleman by the name of John Derbyshire, wrote a book called We Are Doomed. And it's the Walmart happy face, but the smile's turned upside down. And Derby's point is if the United States, or America as we call it, is doomed if we don't go back to figuring out certain things. Like, and you'll hear Kevin talk about this today, federalism. True federalism, meaning that people in this room here will actually govern yourself. Thomas Jefferson said, what's the definition of a Republican? And I mean with a little r, not a capital one. We're talking Jefferson, not Ted Cruz. What's the definition of a Republican? Or what is a Republican form of government? And he said in a letter he wrote to John Taylor, Carolina in 1816, he said it's that government which acts directly on the people. Meaning, here in Cleveland, Texas, it's the city of Cleveland acts directly on you. If you're a resident here, that's your government. There's not too much that that government can't do for you if you want a small, limited government, that you would then have to go to the county. What county are we in, Dwayne? Liberty County. Heaven forbid you have to go to Liberty County. You don't want to have to do that. You certainly don't want to go to the Texas Assembly, if you can avoid it. And I think the people in this room probably know why. Is there any case on earth where you would want to go to Congress? I can't think of anything that you would want to do here in Liberty County that you would need your congressman to help you accomplish. Is Willie Gohmert congressman in this district? No? Okay. Who's it, Sheila Jackson Lee? One of my favorite people, by the way. So, that's what the Refounding Fathers Society is all about. The two gentlemen in the back of the room are two of the smartest men on earth. And Dr. Woods in economics and history, Dr. Gutzman in anything. As a matter of fact, he's going to go on Jeopardy. He's going to beat Ken Baker's record one day. They're going to actually have to rig a question to kick him off. That's how wise the two men in the back of the room are. And they're going to teach you today, they're going to talk to you, Professor Gutzman will, about the Constitution, what it actually was intended to do, how you can get back to getting it to do that. Dr. Woods will talk to you about economics, and he is from the School of Austrian Economics. Now, that does not mean that he is friends with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Although he may be, and if you know Tom, he's been pumping iron, he's getting pretty big. Seriously, Austrian economics is the study and the promotion of free markets, really free markets, not the ones that we call free, really sincerely free markets. And the great men that came up with the theory, and Dr. Woods will explain that to you, about the value of actual sound money, which is good. We should all want to have sound money. So you'll learn about that. And they will be introduced individually by someone that I hope you all know. There was an election held for the governorship of this fine country. There were 4 or 5 candidates competing for the Republican nomination. The one that won, I think his name was Governor Perry. Because there were 5 things that he wanted to do. 5. Fix the economy, fix education. That's 2. Ron was 3rd. Deborah Medina could have answered that question. When I met Deborah, when she was running for office, she dazzled me with information that I did not know women studied. Because I thought women were just hanging around reading the Gray series of books. There are other women, that's before I met you. So Deborah told me things that I already knew, but you're not supposed to know that. People running for office, major offices, don't know things like ratification debates. You don't know that. She could actually pronounce nullification. Not only could she pronounce it, she knew where it came from. And interposition. So you elected the wrong governor, my friends. 2 years, you'll have another chance. So, without further ado then, I would like to present your actual presenter today. You know her